All right, ladies, gentlemen, gamers, welcome back. It's been 2 weeks, and you all know what that means. It's time for my Giga Mind, my ultimate gamer brain, to break down, look at, react to, and give you the hottest takes, and most accurate, on the newest League of Legends patch that's going to hit the game. So, I have not played League in a hot minute. I'll be honest, there's no pass out, so there's no reason for me to play it. Don't quack me. Regardless, though, I can still have some opinions and see what they're changing. Because, and I'm going to keep mentioning this for a while because it's very sad, because Surrender 20 is still dead, I still look every day to see if it's alive, and it's still dead. I am flying pretty much in the dark. I don't know what they're going to change. I don't know what's coming aside from little tidbits I see here and there on social media, and I really don't know the skins. Now, I've seen the skins in the last couple days just because, you know, they're being released, but overall, I don't know how they look too well, so we're going to react to those. We're going to see if they're good. I heard a really good amount of things about these skins this patch, so I'm very excited. But without further ado, because I'm already running late today on a lot of things I have to do, it being one of the final days of the Fortnite season and all, we don't have much time, so let's try and get through this quickly. I say that this is probably going to cost us an hour, though. But anyway, let's keep going. So, patch 13.5. What's up, cool cats? It's patch 13.5. And the cat's out of the bag. Oh, yeah, they're changing Yumi. I actually heard about this. I have no clue what they're doing, but I heard they think Yumi's a big issue, and they're finally, like, hardcore changing her. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to see that. In this week's patch, we have Yumi's much-anticipated rework, several adjustments to Azir to address his pro skew. Alright, so he's getting nerfed. Some buffs to roaming mid laners, and some buffs to counter jungling. In other news, we have some changes to ARAM, including the removing of tower rubble, which we'll talk about that, and an update on the champion pricing changes and announcement about the depreciation of our 32-bit client. No way. As always, thanks for reading, and see you on the Rift. So, a lot of stuff to unpack here. So a lot of this stuff, even though I didn't know they were going to touch on it, I've been hearing it in the community, which, you know, makes sense. They're talking about it because Riot is changing it. But there's a lot of stuff we have to unpack here. So first of all, the newest skin line is called Broken Covenant. We'll go over that at the end. First, let's go over Yumi. All right, so what do we think of Yumi? I think Yumi has been problematic since her release. She is a champion that Riot, quote-unquote, designed to be for beginners. They designed Yumi to be basically usable at a very easy level, but to be that way, they overtuned her, and the champ design was just really bad. She's always been problematic. She's never been able to be in a good spot, either good or bad. She's either too good or she's fucking trash, one or the other. And most of the time, she was too good. So they're finally taking a crack at her. I'm actually very curious to see if they're going to actually hit the ball correctly and get her to be okay. I don't know. I think with Riot's history, it's very hard to, but let's see what they're doing. Let's take a look. Yumi's rework is arriving in 13.5 with a few new spells, some cuddly VFX, and aims to address some of core frustrations that have plagued our feline friends. So basically, I'll address some of the frustrations that is apparent with Yumi right now before I see what the rework is. Right now, all you really need to do is Yumi is like a stat checker. Not only does she literally loses the lane for the AD. Any AD with Yumi as the support, unless it's pro play, is most likely losing and forfeiting the lane. And not only forfeiting the lane, they're making their ADC useless. I can tell you 90% of the time, a Yumi is in the bot lane. What she's actually doing is she's just scaling. She's getting her items. She's scaling her abilities up. So she can go on the mid laner, so she could go on the top laner, or so she can go on the jungler. And because she passively just provides straight stat buffs to the champion that help them win, that's already good enough. You literally don't have to do anything, and you could be on them. And then they further incentivized you to hop off, do your passive, get your little bop and block shield and stuff, right? And give you a heal that gives you move speed, a really good heal, and attack speed. She basically became like a win con. She allowed champions to 1v9, right? In this case, 2v9. But it was very easy to do, and there was very little counterplay to it because you didn't really have to hop off people. Like I said, just being on a person, you gave them a shit ton of stats. You were a walking stat stick item. that would just go on someone, and if you played correctly, if you didn't just stick on them like a Neanderthal, which most people, that's all they had to do, if you actually hopped off, got the shield, applied it to your teammate, healed them at the right time, you would carry. Like, you would honestly be like a secondary carry to the real carry. It was insane. So the fact that it was so easy and it was so unbalanced, because if you nerf it, Yumi has no identity. You're literally just a floating loot box if your laner gets killed, or if your attachee gets killed. So she's either too good or she's terrible. And that's an issue. It's not an issue for Ryze, but it's an issue for her. So let's see what they're doing. So the biggest change is to her passive Feline Friendship, which now builds a special bond with her teammates until one becomes her best friend. Just reading this sounds fake, but okay. This new bestie will then enhance Yumi's abilities as long as she's attached to them. Our goal is to make laning matter much more for me. So like I said, laning didn't matter. You were just waiting, ticking down until you could go on someone else until like laning was over. Because again, you'd fuck the AD. Yumi's laning is non-existent. Especially if she is going to scale just as well as other enchanters while being untargetable. We've kept it as dynamically growing bond because, well, that's what cats do. But also in case something goes ferociously wrong, you should feel free to swap and not be hindered the entire game. Okay. Beyond her passive, we're making a few more swaps to Yumi's abilities, such as making her healing more combat-based. I wonder how they're going to do that. And her enhancements more marksman skewed. Thank the fucking Lord. The main issue with Yumi is she's not supporting the marksman. Literally, if you're playing AD with her, you're not playing the game. You lose the lane, which means you're not going to have fun. Even if you win the game, AD players with Yumi do not have fun because they're just getting shafted the whole game. They don't have a support. They're literally on their own. So this is good. These should abate some of the high frustration moments when Yumi can abandon her lane partner and follow powerful bruisers. Yep. While we're not positive that this completely solves every problem for Yumi, we hope this puts her in a better place for most players. Well, let's see. So, base stats, I'm honestly not going to speak on these because I don't give a shit. Feline Friendship. So let's see. Base armor. When Yumi spells or attacks affect champions, she heals herself and charges a heal for her allies. If she attaches within the next 4 seconds, she brings the heal to her ally as well. While attached, this effect automatically occurs. What? So she... Wait. Okay, so I guess she automatically heals someone. So I thought she would heal someone every 4 seconds, but I don't think that's how it works. I think if you're attached to someone and you land the Q, you're either going to charge up a charge to heal, or you're going to proc the heal, and it's going to go to you and your ally, which is good. Which is good, because before you would have to choose, okay, do I get off and heal myself? Almost always that would be a no, or do I just sit on my ally until they die and heal them? Yes. So while attached, Yumi builds friendship whenever her ally kills enemy champions and minions. Okay, so this is very, very lane-oriented at this point. Each ally has their own unique friendship score. While attached to her best friend, Yumi's abilities gain bonus effects. So the cooldown goes from 20 to 10. The heal amount... Okay. Pouncing passive. While Yumi's passive is ready, her auto attack range is increased by 50. Okay, so she still has the bop and block shit. Excuse me. But they're just adding on to it more. Her passive is probably one of the longest passives in the fucking game. Aside from Aphelios and maybe Ivern. Alright, Q. Yumi fires a missile that slows the first enemy hit. If cast while attached, Yumi can control the missile, so it's the same. And then if it flies for a little bit, it becomes empowered. This is the same. So the best friend bonus. The ability skill will always be empowered, and hitting enemy champions also grants on-hit damage to her ally. This damage is increased up to 75% based on her ally's critical strike. Okay, I was about to say, this could still be good for some top laners, but they made it based off of crits, so they really want her to stick with the AD, which I like. So the cooldown is going... Okay, it's pretty low. That's not bad. I don't know what the old cooldown is, but whatever. Maybe this is all the same. So best friend empowered damage is higher. Okay, best friend empowered slow. Wow. That is a big-ass slow. And then projectile width is a little less. So that's not bad. You can actually weave it through a little bit more stuff, I guess. Hitting an enemy with Yumi's Q now reveals them. I don't know why it didn't reveal them in the first place, but okay. So, pretty much, the Q is just always empowered if you're on your best friend. Cool. So, W. Yumi and her attached ally will no longer receive adapted force. Wow. Yumi's W no longer counts as a positive boon for Summon Airy. Wow, so you can't even help the jungler either. What the fuck? So now you gain an additional 10 to 20% heal and shield power, and her best friend gains AP on hit. Wait, what? Wait. On hit healing? What? This is affected by Yumi's heal and shield power. So you gain health from just autoing. So you basically can heal yourself. So she's really good with high auto attackers now, like Jinx, maybe even Lucian, Twitch, Kog'Maw. Who else attacks pretty fucking fast? Tristana, maybe. All the ideas I've said before. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, this is way better for lane. Now you basically have like a free cull attached to you, except it doesn't give you gold, it just heals you on hit. That's wild. Okay, so the Izumis. Now shields allies instead of healing them. Okay, the cooldown is there. The shield strength is there. They still get a move speed bonus. Okay. They still get the attack speed bonus. Okay. Anchor mana restoration. Yumi restores mana to her anchor, not herself. Increased by up to 100% based on their missing mana. Holy shit, this is like old Soraka. What the hell? And a helping pause. Zumi's does not have a best friend bonus because Yumi should be able to save all of her allies. Wow. Interesting. So they're literally changing from just healing to shielding, because now the healing is mainly going to come from the W and the passive. Interesting. Okay, and the R. So the R is basically the same. You can steer the waves to follow her mouse. What? For allied champions, the waves heal. The heal is increased by 130% on her best friend. All excess healing is converted to a shield, lasting 3 seconds after the ability ends. For all enemies, the waves deal damage and apply a stacking slow. So it doesn't root anymore. What? Oh, shit. And then the waves grant her best friend armor and MR resistance. Dude, Yumi is actually crazy now. I think they actually hit it out of the park with this. I'm actually a little scared that... Is it per wave or no? Does it stack? I don't think it stacks. I think just the wave like grants them the armor and that's it. And MR like once. Wow. Holy shit. And she can aim it now. So I wonder if the ally who she's attached to, if that person's affected. Dude, this is actually fucking crazy. This is actually crazy. I think Yumi is kind of wild. Holy shit, this is wild. I'm actually really excited to see her in game. I hope people play her because she's actually a support now. And I just finished doing like my Milio reaction too, and he's a support. Yo, hopefully we get actual supports in the bot lane again. Holy shit, this seems really cool. I'm very excited for this. Okay, Aatrox. What do I think of Aatrox? I don't know because I haven't played in a while and I don't see him. So, what are they doing? W cooldown decreased late. Slow now increases with rank. Our bonus AD granted increased later. Aatrox was slightly overnerfed, so they're just buffing him again. By how much, though? So, the W's going down by 2 seconds. That's really a core part of his kit, besides his Q, obviously, and Z. Well, everything is a core part of his kit, actually. But this is pretty good, and then the slow's going up too. That's really good, actually. Holy shit. I think the bigger change here is honestly the slow, because that means this is going to catch more people out. Holy fuck. Let me see what they're saying about this, actually. We felt his Q and E were relatively capped on power and didn't want to put strength back into those skills, so instead we're opting to make his W scale into the late game. As an important tool for catching enemies, the slow needs to be more powerful to pull enemies later in the game when movement options are faster and more plentiful. They are 100% right with this. The W later on in the game just becomes a little slow. You're never going to hit like the actual pull-in unless they're CC'd somehow. So unless you're like a god Aatrox who's landing every knockup, this is really not going to pull anyone later on in the game because of all the movement speed, all of the movement abilities. They're exactly right. This is actually a great fucking change. And then the R is going up by 5% AD. Not bad. Aatrox is pretty... not, he's a lot better. Not a lot better, but pretty good better. This is not insignificant. I feel like this is pretty good. Ashe. What are they doing to Ashe? What do I feel about Ashe? I feel like Ashe takes too long to scale. I feel like very similar to Aphelios, Ashe takes very long to scale because of the nature of how her critting works and how her damage works with her passive. I think they definitely need to nerf support Ashe because that's apparently what the meta is. And I think that overall, they need to just, I guess, speed up how Ashe scales. But maybe that was kind of remedied with the IE changes. I'm not sure. But I really hope they're nerfing support Ashe here because support Ashe is so dumb. Ashe is cool. I see what they did there. Champion for solo queue, and she's balanced in both ADC and support. That should not be the case, even across MMRs. However, she's completely reigning supreme over all support picks in pro play right now. Yeah, I wonder why. And her ban rate is rapidly climbing in solo queue as well. So instead of nerfing her, which they should do, they should buff everyone else. So here are some nerfs focused on support Ashe with some compensation buffs aimed at ADC. This is really good. So the Q mana cost is going down, and the Q empowered duration is going up. That's very, very good. This is the main thing for AD Ashe, and the fact that they're buffing it is good. The W volley, the physical damage is going down. So it's just a straight nerf. Honestly, that's fine. They're playing more into her auto attack fantasy, which is what ADC Ashe does. I think my grandparents are about to go to bed, so I'm about to say goodnight to them. But anyway, the R is actually getting increased in cooldown by 20 seconds. That doesn't seem like a lot, but Ashe's ult is one of the few ult that feels like it's always up. So honestly, I feel like this is going to change that. Overall, Ashe got hit with 2 nerfs, 1 buff. The buff is decent. The nerfs are also okay. I don't like them nerfing the damage of W, though, but it's only by 10. So honestly, it's fine because Ashe support doesn't build damage anyway traditionally. Well, actually she does because she can flex into ADC. I don't know if this is enough. I think the ult shot, the ult nerf is probably the biggest nerf, but aside from that, I don't know if all the other things are enough, aka the W nerf. But the Q buff is pretty good. I don't know if this really helps her in any meaningful way, but according to the statistics, Ashe is okay, so we'll take their word for it. Oh my god, not my boy. Not my boy! Okay, so I don't remember if they hotfixed him, because I know I heard around the grapevine that he was actually getting nerfed. I really, really like the new Acel. I think the new Acel, the rework, they hit it out of the park. I think this is one of the best reworks we had. They kind of got rid of the old Acel's identity. You know, it is sad, it is what it is. But I really, really like new Acel. Personally, I love stacking. I love infinite scaling. Acel has that fantasy, and it's fun. I thought the stupid flying Q bullshit would be so gimmicky and so dumb, but it's so fun and so good. Flying and doing a drive-by and just bursting them with cosmic flame from your mouth hole, mwah, amazing. I think it's so fun. I think it's so good. I don't know if it's actually good in terms of like win rate and, you know, competitive viability, but it's really fucking fun. I think it might be bordering on a little OP because it felt too good to be true, but I heard they were going to nerf his stacking. I really hope they don't nerf it, but let's see. Aurelion Sol made quite the impact with his CGU. Yeah, they hit it out of the fucking park with this. And we're glad so many of you have been excited to try him out. I'll say this again. So this is what Riot has said before, and it's 100% true. Acel is one of the most visually appealing people in League, and people who don't know League see him and want to play League of Legends. And then when they got on and played old Acel, they were like, wow, this actually sucks. This is so hard. This is garbage. I'm finally glad one of the poster children for League is like really easy to play. Well, not easy, but like he's playable by like normal people and not like 5 heads. So this is good. So he's sitting at a relatively healthy spot in higher level of play. His performance at lower skill levels is a bit too powerful, so he's a pub stomper. These nerfs should help curb his power just a bit. So his base stats are getting nerfed. I'm not going to go over those because who cares. And the Q. If they're only nerfing the Q, I'm honestly a-okay with this. Just don't nerf how fast he gets stacks, because I feel like that's still reasonable. So, what are they doing? They are making his... What are they doing here? Okay, so they're making him scale not as hard, which honestly... Oh, there it is. Nah. Gainita. Alright, cool. So, my grandparents are going to bed. They're making his Q not scale as hard, so they're taking off 5% AP. That's honestly fine. I'm fine with this. If they don't touch him after this, I think it's perfect. This is great. And they say he's quite balanced. Dude, this is actually so surprising. Riot usually makes something that's either hot garbage, like dumb bad, or really, really fucking broken. And the fact that they not only hit it out of the park with in terms of how fun this is, but also how balanced it is, I'm actually shocked. I feel like they're almost lying to us, but again, I'll take their word for it. Azir. Azir is just a fucking problem child. He is like almost as bad as Yumi, but not as bad. So I think they're probably nerfing him because he's the same thing as Yumi. He's either good or he's bad, and there's no in between. He's really good or he's really bad. And they buffed him, so he's probably really good. So they're probably going to nerf him. I think he's probably a person who needs a rework, or they should just leave him alone. They're probably just going to leave him in a shitty spot, revive him when they want pro play to like be cool, and then nerf him. I'm always a proponent of this. Champions should have seasons where they're really good, and then seasons where like they're off meta. They shouldn't like just revert to like, okay, this champion's just unbalanceable and they can't be like balanced. Champions should have times where they're OP and times where they're not. And I think Azir is a perfect example of that, because unless you're going to give him a rework, I think he's always going to be like that. Unless they keep fine-tuning him for years to come and finally find a good middle ground, which who knows if that's even going to happen. I mean, look, they still can't even do it with Ryze. So, Azir is a pretty nifty champion and is exciting to watch. Yeah, they love him for Worlds. However, the vast majority of players, even in Challenger, don't find appropriate success with him. Yeah, even I feel like he sucks ass. Here's the rationale behind these changes. First, weaken his early game and give him compensation in the late game. I didn't think his early game was particularly that good, but, you know, that's just me. Second, push him away from early Q poke and awkward soldier spam and raise his overall DPS. Third, update his base stat to bring back Nashor's Tooth as a viable option. The fact that Nashor's isn't viable is kind of crazy to me. I actually did testing recently. I don't know if I did it correctly, but I found out that Nashor's like on-hit thing does not proc on his soldiers. And I was like, wow, this item is literally a stat stick for him. He doesn't even care about the passive. It's actually crazy. So, buff tools that especially help fledgling Azir players more auto attack damage in case his soldiers aren't in range, and a stronger passive turret that's up more frequently. So I'll tell you this, Azir's passive used to be good because they offloaded a lot of his passive into his W currently. A lot of what his W does in terms of giving him attack speed and stuff used to be just all on his passive. Now his passive is just the turret, and it sucks. His passive is one of the worst passives in the fucking game. Maybe it's good in pro play. It is not good in anywhere else. I honestly believe that. So this is where I'm a little concerned, though. They want to give him more auto attack damage, which is fine in theory. In theory, you know, if you fuck up the soldier placement, if you're a new Azir player, you kind of can't do anything. But that's Azir's whole identity. If you're going to make his autos do more damage, obviously it's not going to be like an ADC, right? But if you make his autos do more damage, I'm a little concerned for like his whole identity of what's the point of the soldiers. Obviously they still have a point, but it's kind of encroaching on like, he's supposed to be the emperor who commands his soldiers. He's not supposed to do it himself. So I don't know if I like the direction they're going with him, but let's see what they're doing. I'm not going over base stats because fuck that shit. Passive. The duration is halved. That's not good. The damage is going way up. Holy Jesus. The bonus damage is now 0 because the shit does a lot of damage in general now. Azir's Sundisk will now apply Azir's spell effects as single target spells. Huh? What? I'm a little confused. So does this mean this procs Ludens and stuff? There's no way. Holy shit. So it gets more MR. No, it gets less MR actually. Less MR, less armor. It has a little bit more health. And then it loses armor while Azir is away. And oh, it's armor and MR. So it's easier to kill. What? But now the cooldown is halved as well. So cooldown begins after Sundisk falls. Okay. And Sundisk will no longer lose armor and MR while Azir is untargetable. That's a crazy bug. So overall, you can use it more, but it does more damage, but it's also weaker and easier to kill. Weaker in terms of like health-wise. Tanky. It's less tanky. I don't know. I kind of like it. I want it to be a thing you're scared of and not a thing you ignore, because that's what it was before. Whether it's like that, I mean, it should do a lot of damage. You know what they should honestly do? This is what they should honestly do. Because it's a sun disk, right? A lot of people won't remember this, but back in the day in League, we had towers that were lasers. The sun disk should be a thing that reflects the sun and lasers you. They should bring back how the old towers used to do it. And I think that would make the tower pretty fucking cool, honestly. I think that's what they should do to make the... They should keep the damage, they should just make it with like the beam. but I don't know if they're going to do that. They're probably not. I mean, obviously they're not. I just read it, but I think that would really help. I think that would help Azir's turn even stand out just more, but whatever. Turn seems better, but we'll see. So the Q is getting nerfed, but it's getting buffed later on. Cool. This will be a buff at 200 AP and above. That's pretty good. The mana cost is going up, though, so you can't spam this early. Damn. So, now the Sand Soldiers are getting... Wait, what? So instead of getting attack speed, they're just getting straight magic damage. So instead of autoing really fast and like poking you but chunking you because they're attacking quickly, they're just going to hit you slowly but actually hurt, which is a shift, but it's interesting. Okay. So the total magic damage is going to 50 to 200. Okay. And you no longer get attack speed. So they're basically just fully done with the attack speed and they're just putting straight damage on it. Honestly, I fuck with it. I like it. I think I prefer the attack speed more though, because just the feel of the soldiers just like gunning someone down, like just shredding them, like huh, huh, huh. I think that was a lot cooler. But this might be just better overall. We'll see. The E is getting a nerf. That's fine because I feel like they kind of made this shit a little crazy. And overall, that's a 0. Honestly, we'll see. I think these could be good, but we'll see. Definitely not definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. Caitlyn, what do I think of Caitlyn? They're probably going to nerf her because Milio's coming out, and this is a little bit of a spoiler for in 2 weeks' patch notes. Milio is probably going to be best paired with Caitlyn, Kog'Maw, Jinx, Tristana, and any ADC that has long range because he boosts their range. Caitlyn is probably decent right now, and she's only going to get better with Milio, so they have to preemptively nerf her. There's no way. So, it doesn't take an ace detective to see that Caitlyn is the queen of ADCs in pro play. That's sad. But I'm happy they're nerfing her because fuck Caitlyn. So her base armor is going down, her base AD is going down. Slight nerfs to base stats, which means the champion is slightly worse. Cool. I think Caitlyn deserves it too. Fizzle. What do I think of Fizzle? I haven't played, so I don't know. Fizz still hasn't found his land legs this season. While he performs adequately against most immobile mages, his more common AD matchups are having a field day bullying him. It's tough in these matchups. Fizz finds himself having to choose between using spells to dodge abilities or kill minions, but their enormous mana costs make each choice feel like a lose-lose. We'll be increasing his mana in lane so that Fizz will have a few more casts of E. We will still need to weigh the cost of wave clearing versus having kill pressure. This is the main thing I never understood, and I guess this is what really separates good players from not good players. You need to have a lot of core good game mechanics to play Fizz. Fizz is so low range, but with so many tools to kind of help him subvert that, if you're good, that he really is a skill-capped champion. I always thought to myself, how the fuck can you do good with Fizz if you have almost no range, your melee, and your main thing to go in is the main thing that's going to save you? I mean, back then I didn't really understand cooldowns too well, but overall, I felt Fizz was a really hard character, and if he's bad and he's hard, aside from the Fizz mains, no one's going to fucking play him. So, I have really bad experiences with Fizz, especially in Season 4, where he was rampant and just eating my whole ass. But honestly, I haven't seen him in so long, and I feel bad. But don't crack me, Rodriguez. But yeah, I think he definitely needs a buff. I hope they don't buff him too much, but he needs a buff. So let's see what they're doing. So they're giving him more mana restore in his W. That's fine. And then the E is going up in base damage by 10, which is trash. And the mana cost is going down by like 15 early, which is pretty good, honestly. I don't think this really solves Fizz's issues. I think they just need to give him straight hard damage. But, yeah, I think this is slightly better, but not really fixing the issue. GP. I think GP... What do I think of GP? He's kind of broken, but... I don't know. I haven't played enough to really see where he's landed with all the changes. But if I just had to guess, GP is probably ridiculous. So, what are they doing? Passive damage decreased. Okay, he's ridiculous. E now shows all players how many kegs Gangplank has. Okay. Keg recharge rate increased. Gangplank is currently in the top 25% of champions for win rate loss due to low mastery players trying and failing. Yeah, I'm definitely recording. They don't see you on the YouTube, though, Rodriguez. I'll tell them you said hi, though. Everyone Rodriguez says hi, but I am recording this live on Twitch TV/Technics channel. I usually say this at the end, but I'll say it now. This is always being done live at Twitch TV/Technics channel. Yeah, they don't see the chat, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, so it seems GP is massively unbalanced. So, they don't like how people who are bad lose on him. So, I feel like this is, again, what happened with the jungle. They're further removing skill expression and rewarding skilled play in this game. You used to be really good at jungle if you could memorize the camps. What did they do? They made it easier for people, and they put the camp timers there for you so you didn't have to memorize them. Okay, counter jungling was the thing, right? Knowing the enemy's clear path and being able to intercept it and predict it and fuck with them was a skill expression. They took that away too by sort of nerfing counter jungling. They're making the game actively more and more easier for casual players. Now, I don't want to like sing the Doom saying song, right? I don't want to sing Doom for this game, but typically when a game gets like this and they're trying to appeal to more and more people, which I think League has already established itself and has its audience, I think that personally, if they make the game too casual friendly, they're going to alienate its hardcore player base, and then it's not going to be as fun anymore. It's going to lose a lot of its hardcore fans. It's going to become too easy, too simple, too casual, which might not be a bad thing. It's definitely a shift, but I know for me, I don't personally like that. So it's not bad that they're trying to make certain champions easier for beginners, but having certain champions that are skill capped be easier for beginners when these are the champions where if you get good at them, you're just going to eat ass. I don't think they should do that for certain champions. GP is one of them. So what else are they saying here? So a balanced gangplank is likely one who rests below 50% win rate until that trend changes. Let's talk tactics. GP has armed himself with the newly buffed Essence Reaver and Navori Quick Blades. Oh my god, I forgot that shit exists. Suddenly has a very short cooldown, no mana cost concerns, accepting that these items are still his core build now. He still needs to have an appropriate downtime. He now builds substantial AD and critical strike chance, which is what they always wanted on him. Trial by Fire is just dealing too much damage. So this is actually crazy to think about. Think about this. GP would rather forego damage, right? Because he's not getting Infinity Edge. He's actively going for Navori, which doesn't give you damage, it gives you cooldown. He's actively going for Navori because that will lead to him doing more damage because his cooldowns are just up all the time. Which means the champion's probably overtuned at a base level. They need to nerf his base stuff and make it more of a choice. But let's see what they're doing. So the passive is getting nerfed from 310 to 250, and that's pretty much it. Honestly, it's true damage, so that's decently big. But 50 late game is not too bad, but yeah. 5 early game is nothing, but 50 late game, or 60 actually. 60 late game is not that big a deal, but it's not ignorable. It's interesting. Okay. And then E, now all players will be able to see it, which is good. And then the keg recharge rate is now 18 in all seconds. That hurts him a lot, but honestly it makes sense because he's building Navori. So this kind of keeps him in line. He's still probably better than before, than old GP, but he's not as good, which honestly is fine. Maybe I overreacted with my little spiel about, skill expression, but we're definitely going in a trend where Riot is definitely making things easier for newer players. But anyway, not bad. Holy shit. Holy shit. They're actually changing Jinx. No way. I hope they buffer. If they nerf Jinx, this patch is getting at least a 5 out of 10, if not lower. If they nerf Jinx, because I play Jinx a lot. Jinx was my first main, my first real main. I don't think Jinx is that good. She's not that bad, but oh my god, like, please buff Jinx, please. Jinx hasn't been popping off thanks to the IE or Navori's second purchase changes, which is weird because she should. And her power isn't quite up to par with her marksman peers. Maybe she takes too long to scale. So we're comfortable giving her a little more oomph, thank god. These changes should help W feel more effective with only 1 point in it, while the R changes are to help Jinx have a shot at those sweet across-the-map Baron steals. No way they're going to revert it. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Rodriguez. Normies are trash. So her attack speed growth is going up, which is good. Jinx is known for attacking fast, and now she's going to attack even faster. Her W mana cost is going down by 10. I don't think that really matters, but whatever. The slow is going up by 10. Okay, so it's more utility and you can use it more. Alright. And the damage cap against monsters now is in line with Smite. With the new Smite, at least. So you can steal Baron a little bit more easily. So, I forgot if this takes into account the missing health. But if it does, I think this is still whatever. You're still gonna have a smite battle, but I remember Jinx's ult used to be so good for a certain amount of time where it would actually outsmite smite. It was so fucking good. But they're kind of getting it back to normal, what it used to be. Or not what it used to be, but like closer to it. Honestly, I think the biggest change is probably the attack speed, and even then I don't know how base stats really affect them. I wish they would tell us like what this did at level 18, but they don't, which is stupid. But overall, Jinx buffs are Jinx buffs. I don't think they're actually that significant. I got a little excited for nothing, but they're alright, I guess. They're alright. Yeah, the biggest change is honestly the attack speed. Everything else really does not matter for laning, for team fighting, for nothing else. The W barely matters, honestly. Yeah, these Jinx changes, I don't know how big the attack speed effects are, but I would honestly say they're more on the negligible side, which is sad. But a buff is a buff. Okay, Kennen. I honestly keep seeing them touch this little rat champion. I never want this guy to be meta because when he's meta, it is so annoying playing against him. It is so annoying. Oh my god, he's so good. If he's good, he's good. But if he's bad, he's bad. But he's not going to get a rework or anything, so I guess he's not that bad. But anyway, let's see what they're doing. Q cooldown decreased. Magic damage increased. W range indicator for marked targets added. Wow, that's actually a really good quality of life thing there. And E damage to minions increased. Kennen has been lacking an exciting mage feeling for a while. That's very true. Additionally, his farming, especially in the turn, makes the champion difficult for players to pick up and find success. I did not think that at all. We also want to give Ganon players a range indicator on W to help clarify that the range at which Kennen can hit enemy champions when they're marked. That should be in, like, these quality of life changes should be on every champion just hands down from the get-go. I know Kennen's an older champion, but on the new ones, they're pretty good with it. But honestly, just have indicators and quality of life changes for everything here. I know I just talked about the game becoming more casual, but honestly, like, this is just a quality of life thing. It's not a casual thing. So, which should especially be useful when fighting near minions. So, anyway. The cooldown of his Q is going down early by 1 second, which matters. The damage is going up by 10%. Pretty okay. There's now a range indicator, which is pretty good. And the damage to minions is not halved anymore. It's a little less. So he can wave clear a little easier. Slightly better. I would say they're not as negligible as Jinx's buffs, but they're on the weaker side, but still not bad. Still not bad. I feel like Kennen is definitely going to be a situation where they just keep buffing him and buffing him and buffing him until eventually he's just so good that, like, they're going to have to nerf him. But overall, I think these changes are alright. They're better than Jinx's ones. Not by much, but they're definitely better than Jinx's ones. I think if they keep going with buffing Kennen, I think he's going to be a pretty decent pick again, which, again, I have my own reservations about, but again, every champion, if I'm sticking to my guns and what I said before, they need their time in the limelight. There needs to be, like, oh, hold on. Gainichta. And now all of my grandparents are asleep because you get a pair of two. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. God damn it. Basically, though, yeah, Kennen should have his time in the limelight for at least a little bit before he's nerfed again. I don't think champions need to rework. I think just some champions should be meta at certain times, and then they're weak at other times too. So, with that in mind, I think Kennen is on his way to being decent. LeBlanc. What do I think of LeBlanc? I think LeBlanc is very weak. It's basically the same thing as Fizz. In my mind, the trifecta of people who scarred me in Season 4 when I first started playing this game and when mid was ridiculous was LeBlanc, Fizz, Zed, and I mean, Old Akali doesn't even exist anymore, so... oh my god, Adrian put Kalinichta in my chat. Oh my god, I can't believe he actually spelled it correctly, too. But basically, LeBlanc is in the same, I think, presence as Zed and Fizz, and they buffed Fizz. Zed basically became a jungler. I don't even think he's a mid laner anymore, and I don't even think he's a good jungler either. He's more of a troll, like, casual pick jungler. So what are they going to do with LeBlanc? I think LeBlanc is weak, but I think she's sort of getting the same treatment as Kennen, where they're slowly but surely, like, creeping her up in power. So let's see what they're doing. I'm pretty sure they're going to buff her. LeBlanc's always struggled with balancing act between clearing waves and assassination. This is kind of the same thing they said about Fizz, almost verbatim. In solo queue, she boasts one of the highest average kills, but also has some of the lowest average minions killed. Yo, it's either you kill the champion or you kill the wave. You gotta pick one. You can't do both. Even though a lot of champions can do both now. So maybe she's just fallen behind on the times. But anyway, that means players that can perfectly last hit with auto attacks and save their W for trading get a much larger jump in power compared to other champions. This has resulted in LeBlanc being not the strongest champion. So again, what I'm hearing is the good players were good, but the not so good players, aka the casuals, are bad. More and more, it really does feel like League is pushing more towards just being casual. But anyway, we're aiming to smooth out her power curve, so if LeBlanc players want to guarantee some last hits, they're sacrificing a small cooldown without completely losing out on their mana pool and lane pressure. Yeah. Alright, so what are they doing? Killing a unit with either part of the Sigil of Malice restores 100% of the mana cost and 30% of the spell's remaining cooldown. This is actually ridiculously huge. So not only does she not get penalized mana-wise, she also refunds some of the spell's cooldown, which this is low anyway. It's not that high of a cooldown, base. So she can actually farm really well with this. This is actually scary. Holy shit. And then now it deals additional damage to minions. So you're actually encouraged to use this on minions. This is crazy. This is honestly crazy. Holy fucking shit. And then if you do it with R, you could probably make it go down even more, which is wild. Okay, so Sigil of Malice RQ will now mimic the bonus damage to minions of the original ability. Okay, cool. So it's just in line. This is a huge change. I don't know how huge, but it's definitely not negligible. And it's definitely more than just your run-of-the-mill change. This is a big boy change here. How big? I don't know. It could be Leviathan, Gargantuan, Titanic. We just gotta wait and see. But this is actually pretty huge. Again, this helps a lot of casual players and players who are not that good. But very interesting. Pantheon. What do I think of Pantheon? Get him out of the support role. That's what I think of Pantheon. Pantheon has been underperforming in the top lane lately, and his mid lane power has performed even worse. While we do support Pantheon's ability to flex into mid, this round of buffs is intended to help his performance in top lane now. Also addressing some game health concerns around how much Pantheon can access his E in the late game. Interesting. They're basically making it like Annie-Q. Yeah, basically. Except Annie-Q, I think, what? Doesn't it fully reset? I thought Annie's Q either half reset or fully reset, but it's very similar to Annie's Q, yeah, for sure. So, base health is going down. Attack speed is going up. Interesting. I didn't really take Pantheon as the auto-attacking type, but okay. Comet Spear, the cooldown is going down, which is very good. The mana cost is going down, which is very good. And the Q tap wind-up time is going down, which is good. Okay, so they're buffing his half reset. Okay, yeah. So it's pretty close to Anti-Q. So Comet Spear is getting better. I don't know if this fixes his issues, though. So he's underperforming. I mean, Pantheon is always going to underperform in the late game because that's the nature of the character. However, I feel like his early game just isn't there anymore. Which is weird because his old kit was a lot more simpler, but I felt like he was more oppressive. The late game Pantheon, or not late game Pantheon, just Pantheon in general now just isn't as threatening, I don't feel like. I feel like they actually just need to buff his damage, honestly. He doesn't scale well, so you have to have him be good in the early game. And the E, Aegis Assault. What are they doing to the E? They're increasing the cooldown by 2 seconds. Honestly, that's fair. The E is a very strong ability. And if you build ability haste, you can literally block a lot of damage with the late game. So I kind of agree with them here. They make him a little weaker, but if he's been underperforming, right? They're just straight nerfing him. They say he's underperforming, but they're just straight nerfing him. Like, these Q buffs, yeah, they're alright. Like, okay, 13 to 11, sure, it's cool. But it's already, like, doing not that much damage anyway. I don't know. I really don't know. And they're buffing his attack speed? Like, what? Huh? Yeah, these are honestly probably, in my opinion, negligible. I'm not a Pantheon player, I don't know, but Pantheon in general, if you're not good past 20 minutes, I don't really care about you. That's why I always say Lee Sin and Elise need to be reworked or removed. But anyway, Pantheon's a little bit worse, personally. I don't think the Q buffs really make up for it. So, Kiana. So, Milio is coming out in the next patch, so they probably are going to do something to Kiana. What do I think about Kiana? I have a newfound respect for Kiana after what I've seen with how she plays. I actually really want to one day get into Kiana. I think her combos are some of the coolest combos in League. Killing someone never looked so cool with her. But I think she's really hard to play. They nerfed her a lot. And she again borders on the champions I've been mentioning before, where If Kiana's good, it feels very unfair. Now, again, I think Kiana is also like what I've said before, where she's a skill cap champion. If you're not good with her, or if you're not a good player, you're not going to be good with her. But if you're a good player, you can abuse her. I think that's good. But let's see if my hypothesis is correct. I feel like they're going to make her more casual. Let's see. Kiana like Honkai? No, no, I know what you're saying, Rodriguez. No, no, no. No Honkai Impact. No Honkai Impact third. Anyway, let's see what they're doing. Kind of like other roaming mid laners, has been struggling to find success. We're introducing a bit more damage into her kit and some cooldown on her mobility spell so she's able to move around the map. So the Q damage is going up by 20 base damage. Holy shit, okay. Not bad. And then the cooldown of the W is don't quack me. And then the cooldown of the W is going down by 1 second, which is also pretty good. Honestly, these buffs are not... They're almost negligible, but I'll count them as decent. Run-of-the-mill buffs. Not bad. Not bad at all. Rammus, the gigantic little ram. What do we think of Rammus? I feel like they hard nerfed him. Or not hard nerfed him, but they gave him a pretty big slap nerf before, which makes me think they're going to buff him. However, the one caveat I have to this, which is kind of scaring me, is the fact that Rammus is being abused by the boss currently. I've seen clips of the boss picking Rammus, inting like he always does, but once he buys Thornmail lane top Rammus against certain matchups, you can be 0-6, and once you get Thornmail, you just start winning. It's actually insane how much damage. It's actually insane how much damage he does. So they might... My guess is they're going to buff him, but maybe because the boss is... the boss is abusing him, maybe they might nerf him. I don't know. What world am I in? I have no clue. I'm in the dark dimension. That's where I'm in. But anyway, let's see what they're finally doing. Rammus is still powerful after everything has shaken out in the jungle. We're tapping down a bit of his damage, so he's a little less of a murder-adillo, but still able to keep his core strength intact. So his attack growth is going down. That's fine. And then his power ball damage, aka his Q, is going down a little bit too. Honestly, this is fine. The majority of his damage should not come from his Q. Like, his Q should be, like, whatever. It's mostly just a movement ability. The main source of damage should be just straight from his W and alt. If they ever nerf those, which they already have, I'll be sad. And if they nerf it again, I'll be even sadder. But, you know, not bad. Honestly, not too bad. Rammus, if his problem is damage, then he could do less damage, but should only be doing it with his W. I think these are fine, honestly. These are fine nerfs. A nice set of nerfs. Rumble. Rumble is basically, in my eyes, almost the same as Kennen. They're both teamfight champions that go top lane, that go AP. They probably both suck in lane, and they buffed Kennen in lane, which means they have to buff Rumble just in tandem. That's how I kind of take it. Rumble is very sad. Yeah, so am I. And definitely not overheating, especially in his primary role of top lane. He's historically been an early spiking champion whose entire power budget is wrapped up in his ability to win the first few team fights. This time we're giving him more tools aiming at scrapping it out in the late game. Interesting. So his E magic shred is increased from 10 to 20, and then from 20 to 40. So he can shred 40% of your magic resist. That's actually insane. That is actually insane. So even just with one level in E in lane, you're going to shred 24% of their MR. This sounds bonkers. I don't know if this is actually broken. It sounds fucking ridiculous. This sounds strong as shit. But I guess we gotta see. This seems like an Omega buff, though. Rumble seems like he's getting Omega buffed. Giga buffed, even. Like, if you're shredding this, and the E's up a decent amount of time, right? It's not like it's particularly hard to land, especially in the team fights. This actually might be crazy. Holy shit. Samira, oh my god, they're finally touching my girl. I really hope they're not nerfing her. If I had to honestly guess, this is where it's going to get subjective. I feel like they're going to nerf her. Just because Riot hates Samira, even though she's one of the funnest, best ADs like they made in a while, I feel like they're going to nerf her because they're so scared of her. They don't want ADC to be fun. I want her to get buffed. I think she deserves a buff. I honestly think Riot will nerf her here. But I don't know what else they could nerf. They nerfed her healing, which... Her ult, I'll be honest, on release, I'll say the same thing I say for Aphelios. On release, Samira was hard just dead broken. She was just broken. I'll be honest, right? We don't realize it when they release, or maybe some of us do. but you only realize it after they're nerfed and then they settle into like their new nerfed identity. But on release, Samira healed for like 100% of the lifesteal from her ult. Like, she used to just not die in team fights and murder you. It was literally like Reaper. She's literally the like Reaper of League of Legends from Overwatch. Like, it's crazy. But they nerfed healing, which indirectly nerfed her. Then they nerfed her specific healing on top of the healing in general, which nerfed her even more. And I feel like they just made her really bad. I feel like she can't carry late game, especially into certain teams. She's not like a face roll champion like Draven is, although Draven takes some skill. I draw a lot of comparisons between Samira and Draven a lot of the time, although they're not one-to-one. I think Samira is definitely the more fun, easier to use Draven, but Draven has more of a carry potential in some ways. Samira is really bad against CC and against tanks. Like, her just ult will do nothing. In a game versus squishies, if she could get fed, she's crazy, but late game, there are people, excuse me, there are people who definitely do better than her, and I feel like she's fallen below the pack enough to where she needs to get buffed. She needs to. So let's see. Samira was nerfed in patch 13.4 as a way to address her early game snowballing and drain tanking. However, this nerf went too far and made her weak when she was supposed to be balanced. Yeah, not everything can be balanced, right? These changes simply walk back the severity of some of those nerfs. You still shouldn't have to ban her, but now Samira players should be able to enjoy her. So they're giving her back her move speed. So instead of 6 to 24, they're giving you more early and taking some away late, which is kind of sad, but whatever. This is almost negligible in my mind. Well, it's kind of not because move speed is important, but the fact is you need to be actively in combat to have this, and I mean, I don't know. I don't like that's getting nerfed later, but it's 3%. You're losing 3% later to gain 6% early. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I would count this pretty much as almost not negligible. Almost. Tryndamere. Tryndamere is very static. I'm surprised they haven't reworked him or given him a VG, or not a VGU, a gameplay update. Until then, I honestly don't know what he's going to do. He's pretty by the book, straight simple. If he's too powerful, they're going to nerf his AD. If he's too bad, they're going to buff his AD. Aside from that, because they already kind of mini reworked him before, I don't really see them doing anything else. Tryndamere has fallen a bit behind in the times of power levels. Rather than buffing his early game, these buffs should help Tryndamere scale better into the match. Those health growth is going up and attack damage is going up. These are base stats. I don't care. This is probably negligible. So cool. Okay, Twitch. What do I think of Twitch? I think the fact that Twitch is going support, or is even in a world where he could go support, is sick, vile, and twisted. I think AP Twitch needs to be nerfed, and I hope it doesn't affect any other Twitch, because I actually really like AP Twitch. It's just AP Twitch support is bad. So let's see. Let's see what we're going up against. So, oh, AP Twitch, you're one of my favorite champions. You're also overpowered. Yes and no. You're also incredibly frustrating to play against if you don't have to actually lane, since you can just be anywhere at any time. At least Evelyn has to wait until 6. That's the worst part of it. Honestly, back off Evelyn's niche, you jerk. I'd say you stink, but you probably like that. Oh my god, it sounds like they're into like some BDSM shit. You didn't even know AP Twitch support is the thing? Oh yeah, and it's been a thing. It's disgusting. It's not good. It's not good. So they're nerfing AP Twitch by 5% on a Z, which I honestly think is fair. The E is basically a nuke. But, see, it's tough because I know they nerfed the passive, but then they buffed it back up. I don't remember if they nerfed the E and then buffed it back up again. But honestly, I think this is fine. Even though I don't like them nerfing AP Twitch, I think it is a little fair, because if AP Twitch gets fed, it honestly feels more oppressive than ADC Twitch. It's actually crazy. But honestly, this is a okay nerf. If they just leave it at this, I'd say it's okay. Xayah. What do I think of Xayah? Apparently, from what I've been hearing before I stopped playing because the pass ran out, Xayah was really fucking good. I'm sad I stopped playing when she was good, but apparently she's good. I'm really scared they're going to nerf her. I hope they don't, but honestly, it's a coin flip. I don't know, because I wasn't really here for when she was in her heyday again. So let's see. Xayah's buffs in patch 13.1 ended up going a bit too far, bumping her into the upper echelon of AD carries, which is good. There's not a lot of good AD carries in the upper echelon, TBH, that aren't like the main staples. Jhin, Vayne, Aphelios, Ezreal. If Ezreal's good, ADC is bad. Players are finally catching on to her soaring power level, so she needs to be addressed. We're happy with her higher attack speed, but she's simply dealing too much damage. So they're probably going to nerf her damage. Let's see. I hope they don't nerf her scaling, though. I hope it's just base damage, not scaling. Okay, so her base damage is going down by 5, and the cooldown's going up by 1 second. Honestly, this is completely fine with me. Take away my 5 damage, don't hurt my scaling, and make it last 1 second longer, or, you know, the cooldown 1 second longer. Perfectly fine with me. She's still going to do the damage, you know, minus 5, I guess. But she just has to wait a tad bit longer for it, which is fine because you need to set up your feathers anyway. And I'm pretty sure she's one of the champions who builds Navori, so she probably doesn't have too many cooldown issues regardless. But anyway, if they keep the nerfs here, I think this is fine. Is this enough? I personally don't think so, honestly. This is kind of like a wiener nerf. The biggest part of the nerf here is the 9 seconds from 8. But the base damage of 5, like, who the fuck cares? But again, as Gwen would say, death by 1,000 cuts. Yeah, I really don't think it's enough. Okay, we have the Mori. I think Mori is one of the secret OP champions. He is secret sleeper OP because he's not popular. However, I think from playing him, because I do play quite a bit of Yorick, I think if played correctly, he has 2 viable builds. He has the lethality build, which is for players who are skilled, and he has just regular split push Yorick, which is for players who are normal people. No AP Yorick. No AP Yorick. No. AP Yorick is not a viable build. Whoever says it is high off shrooms. But anyway, I honestly think with everything Yorick has at his disposal, with how powerful the Maiden is, if they were ever going to nerf anything about Yorick, it will straight away be, I can guarantee you this, the Maiden. If they will ever nerf Yorick, it has to be the Maiden. The Maiden is actually just ridiculous. Excuse me. But I think he's a little secret OP. But here becomes the issue. I don't think many people play him. So of the people that play him, that, you know, use him, that say he's OP, if they nerf him, that's less people that's going to play him in general. So I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if they should do that. But either way, let's see what they're going to do. This patch will be nerfing Yorick's uninteractive blast you with ghouls playstyle. So that means being caught by 1E with lethality builds doesn't end your life. That is funny. This should bring down the overall power of his frustrating playstyle, but we'll be keeping an eye on to make sure Yorick isn't completely underground. So basically, they are nerfing lethality with this, true, but they are also nerfing regular Yorick with this indirectly. However, regular Yorick gets his damage mostly from other sources, but you know, nerf is a nerf. Overall, I don't think this is too bad. The ghoul bonus damage is going from 40 to 30. But I think that, honestly, if they leave it here, it's fine. I actually don't mind them taking away Lethality Yorick. Lethality Yorick, it's kind of a cheese. If you're against a squishy champion, like a squishy laner with Lethality Yorick, you just eat their whole ass. It's actually ridiculous. Alright, my throat is like fucking chapped from all the talking I'm doing today. Hold on, let me take a quick swig. We're about to hit the hour mark. How lovely. God, Adrian, I wish like I had like a chat overlay so like people could see the Twitch chat, because that thing you put in is pretty much like exactly true with Yorick. It is so true. Yorick means running to bot lane when enemy on Baron. Facts. Yeah, Yorick's slightly worse in both respects, but for his main playstyle, I don't think it matters too much. Because for the main playstyle, the ghouls do help early game, but the main way you're going to beat the Shadow Summon is you doing it yourself. So this isn't too bad for main Yorick, and Lethality Yorick, I'm fine with that shit getting nerfed. Zwede! What do we think of Zwede? Like I said before, I think Zed is no longer a mid laner. I think he's been relegated to jungle, and he's not even a good jungler. He's kind of just a I want to have fun jungler, which, you know, I think those are bad. So I think if anything, they have to buff him. If they don't buff him, I will be shocked. They nerfed AP Yorick? No, they didn't. They didn't nerf AP Yorick at all. All they nerfed was his ghoul damage. And his ghoul damage does AD. So I don't think they nerfed AP Yorick at all. But anyway, let's see what they're doing to Zed. Okay, so in 12.23, they hit Zed's late game shadow slash cooldown along with a few other nerfs to bring down his win rate and ban rate. These succeeded but left Zed late game combos feeling pretty awkward and eliminated some of his cooler shadow shenanigans. Excuse me. We think his win rate is in pretty good spot for a quick combo centric assassin, so we're adding a small nerf in exchange for reverting the original cooldown. So they're nerfing his MR, so they really don't want him mid. And they're buffing the cooldown of the E to be 3 seconds? Oh my god. Wow. So I think this is just a revert, honestly. Yeah, well, it says it's a revert, so. I think overall Zed's better with this. Honestly, take away the MR, keep the E change. This is pretty good. I think overall this is a net buff for Zed. So Zed's a little better. Okay, cool. And that's all the champion changes. Honestly, we had some pretty good changes this patch. I'll go over them again sweepingly at the end, but let's see what they're doing now. So jungle adjustments. All right, here we go. Now we can get into the big meat and potatoes of this shit. So, a lot of junglers are upset. Tyler 1 is upset. And if Tyler 1 is upset, you know a lot of people are upset because they mindlessly follow what he says. But he also has somewhat of a good trigger on the game as well because he plays it to no end. Jungle has basically become almost a non-factor because they nerfed the gold gain. They nerfed how much gold you get. They nerfed Scuttle Crab. They basically made junglers have to vampire leech off the lanes, which isn't going to help anyone. Junglers are already at odds with their laners in general, and now they have to be forced to prey upon like the lanes like gold, which is already going to make the laners hate you even more. So basically, they put jungle 2 behind. I am almost positive from what I've heard they're going to revert it, but I wonder if they're going to really revert it hard. Jungler angry. Yeah, basically. We experimented with junglers having advantages in their own jungle for clearing camps to de-incentivize early counter jungling and keep newer jungle players from getting dominated from minute 1. So again, the whole precipice of all of these patches, at least recently, has been making it more casual for early players. Early invades and steals are among the more miserable experiences in the role and a major contributor to players not opting into jungle. Yeah, because it's a skill role. That being said, the cost of the rest of the game with respect to early ganking, safety, and some higher level strategy have seemed too high, so we're pulling this mechanic back. We're glad we've explored this, and we've always believed in we're trying changes that we think we can help rather than being afraid of potential downside. See, that's one thing I think people aren't giving Riot respect for, and they honestly should. Riot is trying a lot more stuff than they usually do. A lot of the stuff they're trying, I honestly think, and you can go back and watch my other patch note videos, I honestly think a lot of the stuff they're doing is like near mid-season level stuff. So like, I'm actually shocked they're doing a lot of it so often, to the point where like, they're getting very explorative. Maybe because the game's dying, maybe that's also another reason why it's getting so casual. Again, I don't want to sing like the Doomsayer song, that the game is dying, but typically when a game goes more casual, they're trying to attract people because it's not as profitable or, you know, it's not as populated. But overall, I think that this is good that they're reverting this. So let's see what they're doing. Junglers deal 20% increased damage to their own camps and scuttle to all camps. Okay, so basically, counter jungling is no longer de-incentivized because now it's the same as clearing your jungle. This is good. This is very good. I don't think it solves the main issue of jungle doesn't really get as much gold anymore and their ganking is really slow and they have to vampire off the lane. But maybe, with Riot's mentality here, maybe instead of vampiring off the lane, you're going to vampire off the enemy jungle. Excuse me. Which, I'll tell you this right now, this does not help casual players at all because casual players will never do this. This only helps the high tier, high skill level players. Because a low level player won't even know where to go to invade because they don't know what champion is doing what camp at what time. To invade and actually have a good invade, you need to know what camps are up on the enemy side and where the enemy is. So it's not a very casual friendly revert. But honestly, that's what I'm saying. That's what we need. We need things that are not for the casuals. This is for skilled players. So this is good. This is good. Jungle Camp Gold. Wow, I actually didn't think they were going to change this. Holy shit. We've introduced the jungle treat system in preseason, which got abused. Surprise, surprise. which was a large influx of gold into the jungle and pulled a fair bit of gold away from individual camps. This swung the meta heavily towards gankers, so we're compensating some gold back into camps because jungle was trash. Yeah, they're gonna keep invading you. Get ready to see the Shaco players again. Fucking degenerate fucking champion. But anyway, so everything is giving more gold because it gave no gold and you were so behind, you were basically the support. The support has no gold and the jungler had no gold, but now the support is all by themselves again in terms of suffering, so that's good. Jungle lane experience. Junglers can get very ahead of their enemies by sapping early lane experience on ganks, which is what these fucking vampires always do, or when catching waves for dead allies. We think junglers who commit to early ganks should fall behind experience to an enemy who is regularly farming, so this change should help reinforce that. See, this is a good change. I think League jungle should always roll down to one of two things. You're ganking like crazy, you're getting your team ahead or you ahead if you're taking the kills, but you're behind in farm. So if you're not taking the kills when you're ganking, you're going to be behind the enemy jungler if they're farming. But if you're farming and you're not ganking, you're getting yourself ahead. I honestly think that's the way it should be. You're prioritizing one of the two, and they both have their distinct benefits. Typically, ganking should help the team, farming should help you. But that's not how it worked. It was always ganking won out against everything because you would just leech stuff from your fucking laners anyway, so. Yeah, honestly, junglers pretending to gank to leech lane XP, that's honestly what it was. So, what are they doing? So, instead of 75% of the total, it's now going from 40? Holy shit, so you actually get almost nothing now. Holy crap, you get almost half. Like, it's getting nerfed by almost half. Holy shit, that's really good. Yo, get these fuckers to fight in their own jungles. Have them fight each other, not the laners. This is good. This is a really good change. Sweeping lens. I'm surprised they're actually touching this. Bro, why? No, this is good change. Yo, fuck these fucking jungle players. Yo, go farm. Go farm or go invade the enemy. Don't fucking take my lane. But anyway, Sweeping Lens was a very powerful tool for clearing out vision and forcing enemies to play safe or risk dying to enemy jungler. This nerf will... Okay, so they're nerfing it. Wow. I feel like they haven't nerfed Sweeping Lens in a long-ass time. Now, whenever vision gets brought up, I'm going to say this always. I haven't said it in a while. I honestly think late game, they should create a new slot in your inventory for just straight pink wards. Because late game, once you're full build, I mean, when does the game go late game anymore? You know, that's a very valid question. But late game, if you're full build, you can't afford pink wards anymore. So at that point, I feel like Sweeping Lens isn't that good in general. But again, Sweeping Lens doesn't really affect pink wards anyway, so it's a little weird. But let's see what they're saying about this. So it's a powerful tool. While this nerf will be felt more in the early game, it should also help tune down vision denial throughout the game as a whole. I feel like vision just gets nerfed later on though because you can't buy pinks anymore. A big part of vision is buying pinks. In late game, you just can't do it because you're full build. How are you supposed to get level 6 without taking lane XP? Beat the enemy jungler over the head. That's how you do it. But anyway, the cooldown's getting nerfed to Sweeping Lens early. Oh my god, by a lot too. Holy shit, by a full 30 seconds. Wow. Honestly, I feel like Vision was taken out too easily though. This combined with Pink Wards, combined with Umbral Glaive, I think Vision was kind of just like laughed at, honestly. You can clear Vision so easy, whereas like, I think it should have some time where it just can't be touched. So I think this is fine. I actually like this nerf. Excuse me. Cosmic Drive. I feel like Cosmic Drive is an item that's only basically used by... I'm trying to even think. Who even uses this? Gwen? Vladimir? Like, I don't even know who else. No one else uses this fucking item. This item gives you move speed. Like, who the fuck wants that as a mage? But anyway. Bad change number 2. Yeah, right. Alright, so let's see what they're doing. They have to buff this. There's no way they don't buff Cosmic Drive. Because I can only count really on, like, my hand 2 people that use this item. Okay, so Cosmic Drive has been niche and unpopular for a while now. You got that right. This stat change aims to make this item more attractive purchase for damage-focused mages. So it's losing its identity and it's just becoming more of a damage item. Cool. Yeah, that Widowmaker emo is literally how I feel about this item. So let's see what they're doing. So it's not giving health, and it's just giving straight AP. But it's still keeping its little move speed thing, so honestly, this is fine. If anything, this is an indirect buff. Well, not an indirect buff. It's a trade-off, but I'd count it as a buff. You want the AP more than you want the health. I wish they would just go further in on the passive, though. I know we have mobility creep in League of Legends, but come on, man. Just make the item good. Cosmic Drive users. Okay, cool. Wait, they're actually changing Plated? No way. So, Plated is really good, obviously, against my main role, the ADC. I honestly don't know what they could be doing to it. I feel like they never touched the boots. I feel like Riot, in a lot of the patches, like, I can't remember the last time they touched boots. I honestly can't. And I'm not counting the stupid little, like, boot from the Runes of the Magical Footwear, because they touch that one all the time. I'm talking about, like, base boots. I haven't seen them change boots in a while, so I'm actually very curious to what they're going to do here. I have no clue. I honestly have no guess. I don't think, like, Plated Steel Caps is too good. Except if you're an ADC. If you're an ADC and the enemy gets this, you're, like, crying. But aside from that, I feel like it's kind of whatever. Let's see what they're doing. Plated Steel Caps will now check for a much wider range of auto attacks so that when you bonk someone with the staff, it really will be protected by steel caps. What the fuck? An auto's an auto, no matter the code. Steel Caps now looks for all auto attacks for its damage reduction rather than auto attack tagged with just auto attack and nothing else. So this sounds like it's just cleaning up some spaghetti code. So I guess maybe this counts for like an ability that counted as an auto? But like maybe Zeri-Q? Maybe Zeri-Q didn't count? But I honestly don't know. So this is just a buff. This is a buff to Steel Caps, which is okay, I guess. It's alright. Alright, Seraphs. What do I think of the Seraphs? I think they buffed it pretty well. I think it's... Honestly, with what I've been seeing with the abusers of it, like Anivia and stuff casted in, I think Roa Seraphs is actually really fucking strong, and it makes mid laners not only deal damage, but also be somewhat tanky as well. I think Seraphs combined with Roa and everything else is actually really fucking good with the durability update too. I think Seraphs is not a bad item. It's not niche. I don't think it's niche like this stupid ass item was. I actually think Seraphs is not bad. I don't know whether it's gonna get nerfed or buffed though. I honestly don't. I think it's like perfect. Maybe the problem is it's paired with Roa, so if they nerf Roa and this, I say they're going too far. If they nerf Roa or this, just one or the other, I think that's fine. But I can see one of them getting a nerf. So Seraph's got a breath of new / old life with the return of its shield, which is very welcome. And ability power, quickly becoming one of the most powerful mage items. As a result, most of the current meta mid laners are those who purchase Archangels and use it to the fullest. We're doing a small efficiency nerf here to bring it down. However, our longer term goal is to increase mage item satisfaction and the overall power of the class. Okay, so now they're saying something that's really good. They're saying they're going to cut down the stronger ones while buffing the weaker ones. Typically, Riot only cuts down the strong ones, and then everything feels like shit. But the fact that they're raising the weaker ones too is always what I've advocated for, and that's very good. Whether they'll actually do it, who knows. But at this point, you can actually make an argument now that, like, you know, Cosmic, even though it's not, you can make an argument it's closer to being better when compared to Seraphs, because this actually gives damage. This lost a lot of damage. Well, not a lot, but 10 AP. 70 compared to 90, it's a decent amount. And then the health is going down too, that's honestly fine. Archangel, same shit. Okay, Grasp. Oh my god, I see a lot of writing here. I don't like this. What do I think of Grasp? I think Grasp is a cool thing in concept. I think it has way more writing for what actually people even think about this thing. I think people don't even know that this gives health. When you proc Grasp, you gain health. So technically, this rune makes anyone infinite scale health. It just takes a long time. But, it's definitely really, really good on the people who use it, Scion, because it scales off health, your health, and their health, I believe. So, I honestly don't know what they're going to do with this. I feel like it's really good on the people who use it, but not many people use it, and they already nerfed it to shit for ranged people too, so I honestly don't know what they're going to do. Healing from the runes has crept up over time due to the durability patch and other system buffs like the updated tank items. These changes aim to slightly lower that invisible healing not coming from items. Grasp of the Undying has been benefiting fighters more than tanks. And the change aims to lower the overall power of the heal and increase the stacking tank stats. Okay, let's go. I was about to say, the main way they could fix this is just make it lean more into the tank fantasy, not the fighter fantasy. Fighters want to heal in the fight. They love healing because they want to stay in the fight as long as possible. Tanks, on the other hand, want to be tanky. They don't care about healing, they just want more health. So, let's see what they're doing. So, percentage of maximum health healing is going down, which is fine. And the health gained is going from 5 to 7. But it's unchanged for ranged. Oh no, it is changed for ranged. It's up by 1. Honestly, exactly what I said. This is pretty alright. Triumph. I feel like they need to do a really big look at the yellow tree for the runes in League of Legends, because this tree is just so cookie cutter copy paste. The biggest thing they did was nerf overheal or overshield and rework Presence of Mind. Once they reworked Presence of Mind, I thought it was really good. But since then, I feel like we haven't gotten any meaningful change to this fucking tree. And Triumph is like taken 9 times out of 10. So let's see what they're doing. The Triumph change is meant to be a net nerf that flattens the extremes of the rune, leading to slightly more healing when it matters, and slightly less healing when it matters more. Oh? So the heal is now 2.5% of maximum health and 5% of missing health. Which I'm a little confused on their reasoning here. The Triumph change is meant to be a nerf that flattens the extremes of the rune. So, more healing when it matters less, and less healing when it matters more. Oh, okay, so they're equalizing it. Okay, I get it. So they don't want it to be as good when you're low, but not as bad when you're high health. Because it's basically, it's only going to save you item. And if you're not, like, low, this item is, or not item, fuck. This rune is basically useless. They're equalizing it, which overall I would actually count as a net buff. I think this is not bad. ARAM adjustments. So, now we get into the other thick meat and potatoes of this shit. So, a lot of people have complained about ARAM, so much so that I think they're actually reverting 2 of their biggest changes to ARAM. There was 3 big changes that came to ARAM 2023. The first big change, the teleporters. The second big change, champion-specific balance. The third big change, the towers crumbling. They got rid of the champion-specific balance because it was making the game too non-casual, ironically enough. ARAM was very casual, and they decided to balance it more so than they usually do, which I thought was a bad idea, and everyone agreed, so they undid it. And then they tried to just shake things up too much. ARAM, ironically enough, because remember what I've been saying, League is trying to go and push towards more casual, I feel like. However, with ARAM, it was casual enough, but they wanted it to be more serious, which is so weird. It's so backwards, but, you know, that's Riot Games. But overall, a lot of people complained that it's casual. A lot of people complained that with some champions in the game, you know, namely Anivia, if you had a tower crumble and just cover half the lane, and you put a Anivia wall on the other half, there's literally no way a champion with no mobility can get over that. So it was pretty funny, but the funniness only lasts for a little bit once you realize it's actually really stupid and really annoying. So they're going to be reverting it. But again, I'll give Riot props for this. They tried something new. I don't want them to not try new things, and it kind of seems like they need to with the way the game's going. But yeah, they're definitely reverting this shit. But let's see. As a follow-up to our dev state of the modes post, we'll be making a few more adjustments to ARAM this patch. Listen, I'm not a Riot simp. I'm just trying to give credit where it's due. Every patch, I ream Riot's asshole for how bad these patches are and like how stupid the changes are. This one's not that bad. I gotta give it where it's due because I want more than anyone this game to be good. Look at my level. Look at my level right here. Level 603. Does someone love this game more than I do? I think not. But anyway. First things first. Excuse me. We're starting by removing the tower rubble from the Howling Abyss. Ultimately, we're making this call because the rubble didn't meet player expectations for what ARAM should be. A series of chaotic team fights with non-stop action. Now, the sad part about this is I thought the rubble had its place because there was people with like terrain interactions, Kiana, that, you know, with this rubble, quote unquote, got buffed, but actually could do stuff in it. But they honestly gave Kiana enough of a buff anyway where she can get her little like ice water element by like clicking the Howling Abyss itself, the place outside the bridge. So I think it's honestly fine. But it's a little sad for certain champions. Not many, but some. But ultimately necessary change, necessary evil. So anyway, SEO's chaotic team fights with non-stop action. Unfortunately, the Rebel alongside the Vision games it bought with it were just too much to be a healthy addition, but we appreciate your patience as we tested it out. So, towers no longer fall and create rubble. Cool. So we're also doing some work this patch to make Howling Abyss turrets a bit more lethal in the mid to late game. I actually think that's really good because if you have 5 players and there's only one tower, the tower's not going to do much. It needs to be a threat. If you had a tank in ARAM, they could literally tank the tower while your team just bullies the enemy team. It's ridiculous. We're also adding a defensive inhibitor turret buff, which should help teams protect themselves against enemies taking 2 towers in quick succession. That's pretty good. So basically, the tower is getting more scaling damage, which is not bad. The turret armor is going up, which is really good actually. It's going up by a decent amount. The turret MR, same thing. And now once the game has reached 12 minutes, outer turret armor magic resist will be set to 40. I think that's good. I think that's good. Alright, listen. I wish Riot paid me. If Riot paid me, I'd be doing patch notes like crazy. I'd be sucking their dick like crazy. But no. You need to see the other patch notes. I definitely like ram their asses. A lot. But these things are not bad. So inhibitor turrets. When your team's outer turret falls, the turret see. Okay, why am I going over this? This is ARAM. The towers are better. Cool. Brush changes. Adjusted the placement of the 3 bushes in the center to be exactly equidistant. So blue team no longer has half a Teemo's worth of distance advantage. I didn't even realize this was a thing, but I don't think anyone cared. And then balance changes, no one cares. Okay, Clash, Bilgewater Cup, no one cares. Champion pricing update. Okay, so the last major meat and potatoes of this patch, aside from the skins, which we are going to go over quite soon. Because again, as I said in the beginning, these skins are about to go sicko mode, I heard. I heard these skins were insane. So anyway, in case you missed it, we announced that we'll be altering our champion pricing. Read more details about it in the announcement post here, which I'm not going to do. So this update is scheduled to go into effect during patch 13.7. TLDR. New champions will be released at 7,800 like they usually are, and after a week they'll drop down like they usually do, and after 2 seasons they'll be dropped into one of the corresponding price tiers. So basically now what they're doing, from what I've heard about this, is they're gonna price champions based on their difficulty, if they're for new players or not. If there's a champion that came out recently but is meant to be easy for new players, they're gonna be cheap, which is actually such a good idea. It's an idea like the 4-day work week. It's like, wow, how did people not think of this before? It doesn't make it makes so much sense once you say it that you kind of think to yourself, how was it not like this to begin with? But, better late than never, right? So let's see what they're doing. So the 450 Essence, aka the cheapest, is shit. Champions that are awesome for new players. These have a strong fantasy and approachable kit, and our data suggests that they help folks find success early. So off the rip, I'm just thinking Yuumi, Garen, definitely not Yasuo. Who's like an easy ADC? Sivir, Ezreal. Like I can imagine people like that. So the examples they put is Malphite, Misfortune, and Yuumi. Honestly, 100% agree. Okay, 1350. Champions that are a bit more complex, but still approachable. So still, for the noobs. These will have more nuanced skill checks, but maintain reasonable skill floors and proven to be fan favorites. So the main ones I can think of is probably Master Yi, but let's see what they say. Yasuo Lucian said, I do not agree with I don't agree with Yasuo. I somewhat agree with Lucian, and I pretty much agree with Set. Set is very simple. I would also put Tryndamere in here personally, but whatever. Alright, 3,100. Champions that have a larger degree of difficulty or specialization. These often have steeper learning curves to climb before one sees consistent success with them. So automatically, this isn't GP level. GP is like beyond this, but I'm thinking, who do you have to really learn to pick up? Probably Urgot. I would say, honestly, Urgot's one of the best examples of this. Urgot. I don't really know who else. But let's see what they say. LeBlanc, Shaco, York. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely have nuance to their kits. 444 Blue Essence. Okay, well, I know whose this one is. This is actually amazing. Dude, I feel like they suck off Jin so hard, and I love it. It's like that perfect storm when, like, your champion, the one you like, is the one that gets all the attention. It's so good. I love that, like, they're making Jin good. No 444 RP. Yo, don't quack me, Rodriguez. No 444 RP for Jin. Nah, they still gotta make their money. Come on. That's so funny, though. Only perfection and beauty are allowed at this tier. They don't even say who it's for, but we all know. We all know who it's for. I fucking love that. I love how, dude, Jin is one of their best fucking champions. I can't, like, stroke his dick enough. Oh my god. Fucking love Jin. Alright, so after that, the real tier, 4,800, the majority of the roster will live here, which is interesting. And then 6,300 champions that have come out in the past 2 seasons, after which they will move to the tier above after the next season starts. So when they say seasons, I'm curious if that's like the new system, because there's technically 2 seasons now. You know, there's like, or I guess 2 splits, 2 rank seasons. I don't know what they mean by this, because if they mean 2 seasons, that's 2 years. And they're not really rushing to get champions out like crazy now. Now they're going to focus more on like, what is it called? They're going to focus more on like reworks and VGUs and stuff. So I don't know how crazy this is going to be, but whatever. And then 7,800 is for new champions. Okay, cool. Alright, behavioral system. So, they are really cracking down heavy. So this is where the weird part is, right? They're cracking down heavy on player behavior, player reformation, just how toxic League is. I feel like it helped at a certain point, but now I feel like I just don't see it anymore. Like, even though they keep putting in things to like help us, it's just not resulting in any more positive. It's like diminishing returns sort of thing. So let's see what they're doing now. Let's see if it actually is going to help. AFKs are a common problem in League of Legends, but our data shows us that the most players who leave games do so infrequently enough that they don't ever get a penalty. Yeah, because sometimes it's an accident, sometimes your internet goes out, or sometimes you just have to go. But it's not often. We know that sometimes disconnects happen, but we still want to ensure we still provide a reminder that leaving games always hurts your teammates, which is true. For more information about how Leverbuster works, no one cares. We are continually updating and revising our systems, so we'll be keeping an eye on this edition as it rolls out. This is kind of making me scared. AFK timeout. There will now be a 1-minute queue delay penalty for all players that AFK or leave games. Okay, I guess that's okay. It's like a little slap on the wrist. Fixed a bug where sometimes frequent leavers would not get a penalty. That's a huge fucking bad thing. What the hell? I'm glad that got fixed, but what the hell? How is that allowed? Interesting. The 1-minute queue delay is honestly fine. I think that teaches players like, hey, this is a warning. We know you didn't mean TFK, but a minute is a minute. You know, a minute's not that bad. I know League players don't have that much attention spans, but a minute is not that bad. I honestly think this is fine. But, yeah, you know, I think it's fine. Alright, so anyway. 32-bit client depreciation. Support for 32-bit Windows OS will be depreciated on April 4th, 2023. After this date, 64-bit version of Windows will be required. Honestly, that's fine. What does this mean? What do I need to do? Well, for those of you who are already on 64-bit, which is 99.9% of players, you won't notice the difference. For those of you who are playing on 32-bit, you will get a message telling you that your client may stop working in the future. Okay. Interesting. Wow, so you're actually going to have to upgrade your toasters now. Why is League doing this? So, depreciating XP and Vista continuing to release new content while maintaining older hardware requires significant investments both from a development and testing standpoint. By removing some of these barriers, we can continue to push the boundaries of new features while delivering engaging player experience. This is such horseshit right here, and I'll explain why. While we don't have any directed targeted improvements to communicate to you just yet regarding this migration, it will be something that leads to our continued investments in the future of League. So, this brings up a way larger conversation about League and just the player mentality around it. I, not so recently ago, made a video about how League is kind of getting the shaft in every respect, and it feels like Riot is sort of abandoning it. Even though they said they're not going to, it feels like honestly the mobile game is getting more love than the client. Now, what they're saying here is a lot of buzzwords, and this is very like copy paste written by like some some copywriter or some guy who's paid off, right? So this to me sounds like, hey, you know, we're not supporting it, but don't worry, we have really good things planned. This is going to help us do a lot of new things with the new technology that the old system limited us with. And you know, it sounds very good, but look at the state of League. Look at the state it's been in. We've been asking for all these old game modes, not even new ones. Think about this. Old game modes that used to be in the game when the game was way less technologically advanced, right? We're just asking for them back. Not even new ones, the old ones. We're asking for them back and they can't give it to us, right? So if they can't do that, what new bullshit are they cooking up to feed us? What, the 2v2v2v2? Okay, cool. You know, it's not that crazy. It's not that hard to think of something like that. And the fact that it's taking them that long to come out with it, it's kind of ridiculous to me. Riot says they're cooking up new stuff. I'm pretty sure they're just lying to us, trying to like make sure we think the game's going to get updated. I honestly think League has taken a back step. Either that or the team working on it just is being mismanaged, or it's just not creative. I doubt the team is not creative. I think it's honestly just being mismanaged. But that's what happens when you get Corpa. So it's a little sad, but that's what I think it is. Excuse me. So competitive dodge penalties are increasing proportionally to the LP increases. That makes sense. That's fine. So instead of losing 3, you lose 5. Instead of losing 10, you lose 15. That's honestly fine too. Quality of life. Chroma selection for a skin will no longer reset when switching between different skins. Thank the fucking good lord. That was a really annoying thing to do. Everything else I don't care. Skin fixes, I don't care. Mythic shop rotation, I don't care. Okay, now we finally get to look at the skins. So here we go. League of Legends is going to maintenance mode. Let's go. Oh yeah, lovely. Okay, so here is where we are going to look at all of the skins. And you know what? I'm going to say fuck it. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it live on the patch notes. So let me get skin spotlights here. Hold on. Because I haven't seen these yet. I'm going to react to them live. Here we go. I should probably do this more during the patch notes anyway, but let's see. So, I already see kind of spoilers for the next skin line. I'm not going to look at for who it is, although I'm seeing the names now and I don't like what I see. I'm actually very upset by what I see, but I'm gonna... No fucking way. Oh my god, no way. I'm seeing stuff that's getting me upset right now. Okay, so I saw the new skin line. I won't show it on the screen, but here, let's look at the new video. So, we have the Broken Covenant skin line, which looks really fucking cool. So, let's see what we're doing. Let's see, what's the legendary skin? I believe it's the Riven skin. Broken Covenant, yeah, I believe it's the Riven skin. Okay, so we got Cho'Gath, we got MF, we got Rakan, we got Xayah, we got Nocturne, we got Vladimir, we got Prestige MF, which means there might be a pass coming out, and then we got Riven, which I'm assuming is the legendary. All right, let's go through them here. So, are they not going to show the splash art? Oh, they are, okay. Not gonna lie, Cho'Gath looks like a fucking booger. He honestly looks like a fucking walking booger that's like chained. Interesting. This splash art looks fucking insane though. This is like Dark Souls inspired. Dark Souls / Bloodborne. I like how there's literally like a fucking city embedded on his back, like a giant building. That is cool. Oh my god, that's so... This is like Bloodborne, bro. This honestly reminds me of the Ashen Knight, or the Ashen series. This is crazy. Riven legendary skin again. Yeah, I know. I know. It's crazy. Now multiple people are gonna get double or triple legendaries before like certain champions even get one. It's sad, Rodriguez, I know. But honestly, the Cho'Gath skin is looking good. I have a feeling like this line is gonna be really good. I think so far one of the best lines they've released of recent though has been what the fuck is the name of it? Fright Knight. I think Fright Knight is some of the best skins that they've released. And I think this might be a close second. This one's not looking too bad. Like, look at this shit. R ability. Look at how big he is! Definitely the bigger the model goes, the better he looks. He has like some wisp action going on. This is definitely really fucking cool. Really good. I like this shit. And it's Cho'Gath too. Like, Cho'Gath isn't anything crazy, but I am ready for, like, the other skins. I feel like the other skins are gonna go stupid mode. As much as I hate Riven getting her second legendary, I'm excited to see, like, how good it's gonna be. Jesus, look at the chromas. He looks more like he's made of boogers and wax, but honestly, not bad. I'm liking the skin line. I'm definitely liking it. Okay, so this is MF. Broken Covenant MF. Isn't it based on Covenant, which is already good? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm getting a lot of Bloodborne vibes from this shit. This is definitely like Bloodborne to me. Oh shit! Oh shit, she's shooting! Oh shit! Not bad. The MF skin looks really nice. I like how there's like that floating halo above her. I think that's really cool. Splash art is hot as shit. This is like some like BDSM nun stuff right here. Okay, passive isn't bad. Let's speed through this shit because this is gonna take too long. W ability, not bad. Definitely decent. Definitely decent skins. I don't personally like the color palette for MF, but definitely not bad. Oh, you thought it was Coven? Oh, yeah, no, it's not Coven. It's not Coven. I don't know if it's in the same universe though, but let's see E. Ooh, this kind of reminds me somewhat of Arclight. It definitely is giving me Arclight vibes. The Arclight skin line. I want to see the ult. Not only do I want to see the ult, I want to see the ult in prestige form. The sounds are really good though. I'll say the sounds are definitely pretty good. It's very like holy with like church vibes, very angelic. I like it. There's the crit. Ooh, actually it looks really nice. Holy shit. Death animation, same as always, and the chromos. Not bad. Not bad. I think the biggest thing is the little halo above her head. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, Rakan, this honestly looks, this looks pretty fucking weird. Ugh. This honestly looks like it could be a Valentine's Day skin. Let's see the splash art. Oh my god, that looks so cool. Rakan kind of looks like the oddball out for the skin line. Xayah very much looks like she's towards the skin line. It feels like Sentinel and Ruination. I forgot they stopped doing backs. The Xayah skin looks amazing though. Honestly, these skins paired together look really good. The Rakan one still looks out of place though. Let's see the passive. You know what this actually looks like to me? This looks like Jack of Hearts Rakan. Definitely stands out though. I think this skin is a really good Rakan skin if nothing else. It looks very different. Holy shit. Yeah, this looks really good. It looks like the church windows. It looks like the stained glass. This looks really cool. See the W. Oh, that looks amazing. You see the glass particles and everything. You know, ironically enough, even though the Rakan skin looks the most different, I think that actually plays to its strength here. I think the Rakan skin is the best skin so far that I've seen, which is sad too. Let's see the ult. Oh yeah, this is good. This is good. What did they stop doing? They stopped doing new combined recalls for Xayah and Rakan. So in every other skin for Xayah and Rakan, the recalls in their skins, if they match it up, they have a different one from base. But they said they're going to stop doing that because it takes too much time and not enough people do it. So it makes sense, but it's sad to see. $billion-dollar company, by the way. They didn't remove the recall together, they just removed the unique one with the skins. Yeah, honestly, this Rakan skin is really fucking good. Holy shit. The chromos look really good too. Holy shit. Okay, Rakan is definitely the best one so far. And then we have Xayah. Xayah's skin looks really hot. Holy shit. I'm a sucker for the black and white. I love the black and white. The gold is a nice touch though. I honestly don't really care for the gold, but for this, it's a nice touch. Splash art's gonna be the same. Oh yeah, dude, Xayah looks so crazy in this. I love the coloring. Black and white coloring combined is so good. Alright, we're skipping this part. Ooh. Yeah, this looks very, very holy. Definitely reminds me of Arclight, but with church themes. Arclight is just holy energy. This is definitely like holy church themes, for sure. Not bad. Definitely not bad. The problem is I can say they're good skins, but they don't play into any of my like personal preferences. So yeah, but I personally I'm not really caring for them right now. Okay, and let's check the R. What is the R looking like? Not bad. I think the main thing that carries the skin is honestly just its base model. The base model and the colors are like the best. Overall, it's alright, I guess. The crit looks like whatever, and then let's see the chromas. Chromas are kind of lackluster. Like the chromas are not that good. Okay, Nocturne. I'll tell you right now, this model for Nocturne looks insane. He actually looks like a ghost. This is cool as shit. This Nocturne skin looks really fucking good. It's like they took away a lot of the shroudiness of him. Holy shit. Is that Cho'Gath's back? Oh my god. Oh, this is a really good skin. This is a really, really good skin. Holy shit. Aside from the Rakan skin, I think this is the best one so far. You gotta go? Alright, Rodriguez, I will see you another time. You're getting hungry? Yeah, when I do these, I literally have my dinner next to me. I'm still not eating it, though. Because I have to make this video, which is currently... How long is this video going on for? It's an hour and 41 minutes. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this Nocturne skin's definitely the best. I don't know if I'm going to react to these skins in the patch notes, man. This is going to make it go so long. If I was unemployed, maybe, but I still got to grind out shit, man. This is sad. Yeah, Nocturne skin definitely really good. Let's see the ult. Yeah, I think this Nocturne skin is so fucking good. Holy shit. Wow. See, the effects on this shit look good. Holy shit. Oh my god. It almost looks like it's like dreamy. Like it has like dream effects almost. Like sleepy dream effects. Chromas? Not bad. Not bad. Next. Vladimir. They have a lot of skins in here. So with Vlad, they're definitely going with the same style as Rakan. For sure. Oh, damn. Oh, Vlad is sassy. I feel like Vlad has a lot of skins, though, but... whatever. Oh my god, look at the splash art. What the fuck? It looks so dapper. Again, this looks more like the stupid, like, the heart skins. Like the stupid, like, card suite skins. That's what it looks like. Oh my god, wait, this skin is really good. Holy shit. The little, like, crystal effects are really fucking good. Wow. Oh my god. Excuse me. I can cut it out in 2 videos, yeah, but I'm not doing that shit. I'm not gonna edit this, it's too long. Too long to download. Plus, I want it to be combined in the patch notes. Okay, the Vlad skin is the best skin. I think, honestly, the Vlad skin is the best skin. They could have made this the legendary. It's sad that it's not. They honestly could have made this the legendary. It is amazing. Holy shit. The W is the best part. This is actually wild. Wow. Holy shit. Wow. Alright, let's see the chromas. Wow, the chromas look really good too. Holy shit. Yeah, Vladimir easily best skin so far. Alright, now we have Prestige MF. Ooh, she looks hot. Wait, this looks like the same back animation. Wait, what? I thought they were changing these shits. Or is that for the other ones? Is that for the gem? Not the gemstone one, the Ashenite ones. Holy shit, she's so hot. Holy moly. Raya loves using that same pose for the fucking splash arts though. A lot of people's splash arts literally just has them like walking to the side. Not gonna lie, this looks way better than the regular one, for sure. 100% this looks way better than the regular one. Will I grind it out though? I don't know. I'm still deciding. I don't particularly use MF, and when I do, I like using the quote-unquote ultimate, but honestly, Depending on the effects, this might be better than the ultimate. I don't think the ultimate is that good, honestly, either. Gun Goddess MF is like kinda eh. The model is really good. She looks like she's from like the 80s with like her getup. Looks like she has like a onesie. Still not as good as the Vlad skin, but better than her base for sure. Alright, let's see the ult. Ooh, okay, the ult doesn't look too bad. Looks very ethereal, but still very glass-like. And you still hear the church sounds too. Honestly, not bad. No chromas for this one because it's prestige. Alright, finally. The coup de grace, the Riven skin. Is this the legendary? Yep, it is the legendary. Okay, cool. What makes it a legendary? Let's see. So it's doing the red theme again, which I said is in line with like the card suite skins. Holy moly. They're finally making the prestige skins unique from the base skin. Yeah, they did that for a little bit now. What the? Her sword is literally just like a broken church door, it looks like, with like glass. Oh, okay, okay. I swear to God, I can like you know, like King of Spades Mordekaiser or whatever the fuck it's called, King of Clubs, whatever. I feel like it's a part of the same line. Is she doing the fucking... What the... I forgot what that's called, but holy shit. I forgot what that's called. Fuck. It's one of the TikTok dances. Ew, did she just hiss at me? Whoa! Her ult makes her look hot. Holy shit. Okay, that's insane. That's insane. Holy shit, her skin is hot. Oh, but it runs out. No. Okay, that's crazy. Melania Blade of Mikella. Oh shit! I didn't even realize that. Ooh, okay, yeah, this is a pretty nice skin. The animations are very nice. Wow. It might honestly be better than Dawnbringer. Holy shit. Oh my god, the W looks sexy! I am Melania, Blade of Mikella. Okay, this skin is really good. Holy shit. As it should be. A lot of the legendaries recently haven't been that good, but this one's definitely pretty good. Oh my god. The true never gas. Oh my god. Dude, the animations are fucking clean. Okay, it's a little disjointed though. When she autos, it's a little weird. The splash looks like her, not gonna lie. Yeah. Oh my god, dude, this skin is really fucking nice. Holy shit. Yeah, the autos look a little weird. Maybe it's supposed to look like that. Honestly, this skin is crazy. Oh my god, I love the voice lines too. It looks so clean. It actually looks so fucking clean. Holy shit, this looks so cool. Wow. Wow. Okay, now we're seeing the combos, or what is this? Oh my god. QRQ. Face the true never gassed. Wait, there's a lot of shit here. Holy fuck. The crit is just she stabs you with it. Jesus. Oh my god, she turns into fucking glass. Damn, I like this skin. Yo, what the hell? Is she bomb? Is she bomb from fucking oh my god, it grinds on the ground. Is she bomb from freaking Tower of God? Damn, this is a good skin. Holy shit. Wow. I like how, like, depending on the direction she goes, it like tilts from side to side. That's crazy. And the fact that it has chromas too is insane. Wow. R for form chromas. Holy shit. Dude, this looks ridiculous. Oh my god. Okay, this skin's kind of crazy. Alright, and that's all the skins. Wow. Wow, okay, well this is definitely going to go almost to 2 hours. Holy shit. overall, really, really nice skins. Not as good as I was hoping or that they were hyped up to be, but not bad. Not bad. Oh god, I'm getting spoiled for the other skins coming out too. Fuck, I can't look at this. Okay, overall, not bad though. Pretty good. So, reviewing the whole patch, the skins are really good. Riot, yet again, hit on a lot of different things. A lot of different things this patch. Items, decent changes. Some nerfs to ADs, which is going to put him down a peg, but some buffs to Samira. Overall, I feel like this patch wasn't too bad. They did a lot of different things. And they made some pretty heavy changes to Yumi, and they didn't nerf Asol that bad either. Honestly, this patch surprised me. I'm going to give it 7.5 Mark Merrills out of 10. I think it was decent. I think it was decent. Some decent changes. We have to see how some of them play out. Some of them I didn't really care for, but nothing too egregious, and the skins were pretty nice. So honestly, 7.5 out of 10 Mark Merrills. I hope everyone enjoyed. As you might have guessed, and as I said earlier, I do this every time live on Twitch TV Tecnics channel. Come watch me there if you're on the YouTube. And yeah, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Hope you enjoyed.